Welcome back to the SNES Final Levels Challenge, and in this video today we are going to be ranking games 11 through 20. Now, for those unfamiliar with this challenge, please go ahead and reference the link below in the description to the first video where we ranked numbers 1 through 10, and that way you can kind of have an idea of what's going on. But basically, I'm playing Super Nintendo games, I'm ranking them on an S to F tier, S being the best, F being the worst. Remember, this is my opinion. Something that you might give an S, I might give a B, and vice versa. It's just my experience while I played the game. So guys, sit back, relax, and let's get ranking. The first game we're going to rank today is Kirby's Dream Course, and I ranked this one a B. Now, some might push back on that a little bit just because some people think that this game is phenomenal. I don't think this game is a bad game. I got Kirby's Dream Course, Kirby's Avalanche, and Kirby Superstar all for Christmas one year, and the other two games outshone this by quite a lot. I found myself playing the other two games way more. Not that this one, again, is a bad game. It's an okay solo player game. It's basically miniature golf, but you get the Kirby abilities to kind of help you throughout the level. Not a terrible gimmick. It really is kind of fun. Kind of surprised we didn't get another iteration of Kirby's Dream Course. However, this game really shines in co-op mode, and my brothers, they didn't mind playing it, but at the end of the day, we wanted to play Kirby's Avalanche or Superstar better, so this one always kind of fell on the back burner. And as I replayed it solo, I still enjoyed it. This is not a game that I find myself wanting to go back to, but yeah, I think it's a solid B, more like maybe a B plus, like right under A tier. All right, for number 12, we have got Claymates, and I ranked this one a D. Now, this one might be a little controversial. However, for anybody that's trying to beat this game, I just didn't enjoy it. I remember when it came out and I wanted to rent this so bad, and it was always rented out, and I just assumed it's because it was really popular. I remember when they were advertising this on TV, I really wanted to like this game. I really did. I did not enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it. The last level in this game really brought it down probably from a C to a D because it is unbearably hard. Like, I was getting so frustrated. I thought the levels were, they're really large, and I'm okay with large levels, but confusing. I don't know. There's something about this game that just didn't sit well with me, and I was ready to be over with it, and for that reason, I think it's a D. Alright, up next is the successor to the NES classic game called Solstice, and this one is called Equinox. And this is an isometric game. Not a whole lot of those on the NES or SNES, really. And this is where they take the game and they shift the screen about 45 degrees, so you're looking at it at this weird angle. It's not your typical side-scrolling, so when you hit up or over or anything like that, like your character moves in kind of a weird way. Trying to judge your jumps is a little difficult because of the angle, but overall the game is a really fun exploration type game. Getting items so you can progress to the next area. These dungeons that you go through are very large, and there's a lot of cool puzzles. The downside of this game is that the battle system is just terrible. It's so repetitive. The bosses are extremely tanky. The fighting in this, like the boss battles and the fighting, it's not to be desired. Let's just put it that way. It's not great, but if you want a good, fun exploration type game, this is what you're probably looking for. Got some cool music and all, but overall, I wouldn't say it's a C. It could belong to a C, maybe a high C, low B. I'm ranking it low B here. Alright, up next is Kirby's Avalanche, and this is A tier. Now, this definitely has an argument to be S tier. This is like high A for me. Earlier I said I thought I had ranked it in my previous video. Apparently I only ranked Superstar since we're ranking two other Kirby games in this video. But this game definitely has an argument for S tier because it is a fantastic puzzle game. The object of the game is to beat the computer by simply connecting 4 of the same colored little jellies. It's a lot like Tetris in a way, but you can build up these combos with everything. Building up those combos when you can get like one after another. Oh man, it feels so great to drop all those stones on the other side. Nothing feels better. Great co-op game too. But this game is a really, really fun and addicting game. It does get harder, obviously, as you go through. Like, basically, at the end of the game, I'm just waiting for the computer to beat itself. I'm just trying to survive. Like, it's going so fast, you really don't have time to think. You're just really hoping that the computer messes up, and I think I beat King DDD in like, I don't know, like 25 seconds or 30 seconds because they messed up. So, great game. Highly, highly recommend. If you've never played Kirby's Avalanche, go play it. All right, coming in at nearly 7 hours of playtime is number 15, Super Bomberman 2. And this one I rank a B as well. And this game, it is a lot of fun. This is your classic Bomberman game. My first introduction to Bomberman was actually on the Game Boy. I loved it. I really had high expectations going into this game. They fell a little flat, not gonna lie. However, the gameplay was still a lot of fun. I have never played this multiplayer, so I can't speak on that regard. However, there is some creativity to the levels, and I really did enjoy it. In my notes for the SNES final levels, I wrote next to this game, annoying last boss, have to have certain power up to even win. I'd actually forgotten about that until I was going to do this video, and you do have to have a certain power up, so kind of annoying that you could get to the last boss without that power up and then you're unable to beat the boss. Big flaw there. Now the power up does drop in the room before, but you can just skip right over it. Like, it might not be a power up you care for, so you don't get it. So a little bit of a flaw there, but otherwise it is a great game. To me, not one that I necessarily want to go back to. I would probably like to try it in co-op sometime, or multiplayer rather, play it that way. But other than that, solid B tier. Alright, we are halfway through this list, and up next is what many consider to be one of the best RPGs on the system, and that is The Illusion of Gaia, and I rank this one an S. Now this one I was able to play as a kid, so all these years later, it's very nostalgic for me to relive the gameplay, the music, the story, and just the awesome feeling, really, of playing this game. It's not a difficult game at all, so if you've ever wondered if you would be into RPGs, this is a great game to start off with. It's an action RPG, very Zelda-esque with that overhead view where you can explore dungeons, you can explore towns, but at the same time, you're not roaming around trying to figure out what you're supposed to do, where you're supposed to go next. The game really does handhold you in that aspect. It's easy to level up, the bosses aren't overly difficult, although, spoiler alert, I do think that the vampires are the hardest boss in this game, but that's just my opinion. Anyways, this is a great game. If you have never played it, please go play it, see what the hype is about, see why it deserves to be in this S tier. Alright, up next is our first F tier rank, and that is Young Merlin. Here you are following, I suppose, Merlin when he was a youngster, and he is helping this goddess, I guess, called the Lady of the Lake. Yeah, really garbage. This was a tough one. There is no real good direction throughout this game. The controls are terrible, the hitboxes are awful, the storyline is not good. And when I say there's no direction, I mean there is just really no direction in this game. There's a lot of wandering around, a lot of backtracking. There are some good puzzles, especially the mine levels have some really good minecart puzzles. There's a castle that has some good puzzles, but other than that, this is just not a good game. If you like this game, I am sorry, but I will never play this one again. This is like below F tier garbage. Alright, up next we're going in almost the complete opposite direction as far as ranking goes, with Contra 3 The Alien Wars, and this one is ranked in A. Now I know a lot of people would probably rank this in S tier, however, there's one reason it did not make it S tier for me. I am really bad at Contra games. Now, for me, that means I probably won't go back and play this game consistently. I might go back to give it another go for whatever reason, but S tier is those games that I will definitely play again. This is just difficult. This is a hard game. I cannot believe people even try to speedrun this. I get it's a lot of memorizing where enemies are and everything, but it's difficult. It's brutal. It took me a little over 9 hours, but the gameplay is phenomenal. Such high replay value. Graphics are good, music's good. The delivery of the levels is fantastic. Level 4 is probably one of the hardest levels in any video game I've ever played. That boss at the end where you have to jump from one rocket to the next while continuing to shoot and dodge. What a great idea. Seriously, what a fantastic idea. Contra 3 really showed what the Super Nintendo was all about. I really enjoyed this game. However, it was hard and just not a game I will find myself going back to. I am glad that I beat it, and I'm glad that it is behind me now, and I do not fault anybody for putting this in S tier. This is a phenomenal, this is an A+ game for me. Phenomenal game. If you've never played it, at least give it a go. And my experience with this game was the more I played it, the more I did enjoy it and really wanted to beat this game. So yeah, great game. All right, let's flip back over to the other side of the spectrum with another bad game. And here we have The Great Waldo Search. This is a seek and find game. It is not great, it is not fun, it is for children, and even then, I can't see a child really having a lot of fun with this game. I don't have a lot to say about it other than it took me like 6 minutes to find Waldo in all the scenarios. Yeah, not fun, garbage game, let's move on. All right, and for our last game on this list, we have WWF Royal Rumble. And this one here, I am ranking C. This is just very mid-tier. Some people would probably put this in D category. However, my brothers and I, we rented this game a lot. And this is probably my favorite WWE event. I still watch the Royal Rumble every year, even though I'm not big into WWE anymore. Most of the time I'm watching, I have no clue who the competitors are, who the athletes are, the wrestlers. It doesn't matter. It's just a fun event. I really do enjoy it. This game, we played so many hours on. It does have where you can play tag team and regular matches. Nobody plays it for that reason. Everybody plays it for the Royal Rumble. It is very limited with anywhere from like 8 to 10 wrestlers, I think is it. It is an LJN game, so it does get a lot of hate for that. But overall, not a bad game, very mid-tier, and I enjoyed it as a kid. Alright, and that concludes our list of numbers 11 through 20. Please remember to like and subscribe. Hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and until next time.